Hey guys, good morning. It is 5:24. Just got to Davey's locker in Newport Beach. Not going to use a spear today, but we are going to rod and reel fish. Hopefully yellowtail, but honestly from the fishing reports it's probably going to just be a bunch of sculpin, maybe some bonito, but a little different than what we are used to fishing. But here with some buddies, two guys here, and we have some other buddies coming, so see how it goes. But this is the full day at Davey's locker. I think I forgot which boat we're on, but super excited. See you on the boat. So this is the Freelance from Davey's locker. This is the boat that's going to be taking us up and down the SoCal coast from Newport to Long Beach. They sometimes go to Catalina, but in this trip we're going up to Long Beach and fishing on the way there and back. Alright guys, we are on the boat on the Freelance at Davey's locker. Got our other co-fishermen here. Probably gonna catch a bunch of sculpin, but pretty packed boat as you can see. See how it goes. We are heading to our first fishing spot. Everyone's getting rigged up for sculpin as expected. So essentially, from my limited experience, but what they're saying is 10-ounce weight with 2 hooks. Size 2 generally is good. We are sack number 20. Let's see how it goes. It's a pretty packed boat today. Check that out. So here's how far we're going down just for some sculpin. So we have to go all the way to the bottom and wind up a couple times. So if you look at the reel, look at that line guide moving back and forth, still going. This is not fast forward or slow it down. This is real time. So we go all the way down. Your weight is doing all the work right now. We're going all the way down. The idea is once you start seeing slack, that means to hit the bottom. We're gonna wind up a little bit just to hover right above the bottom of the fishing spot here. Careful, careful. Got it? No, let it go, let it go. you can see we're just catching calicos left and right. Obviously all of them are short, but what this deckhand is doing is dropping some anchovies from the main tank where he puts his net right across there into these little, I call them ponds, but essentially places where you can grab the anchovies. And what I'm looking for is an anchovy that is going to do the work for me. So what I mean by that is one that has a lot of energy and I know will be swimming around quite a bit. And essentially what I found, I think most fishermen know, is you want the bait to be moving for you. It's not necessarily the size, it's the activity. So what I'm doing here is getting ready to hook it, and where I hook it is right behind the gills in the upper back area. So it has enough autonomy to swim, but still has a really good hook even there. So at the end of the trip, we're heading back, and what they're doing here is anyone who opted in for the jackpot, whoever has the heaviest fish wins the pot, and the guy on the left had won with that large sculpin. Alright guys, we just wrapped up fishing on the Freelance with Davey's Locker. Pretty fun trip overall. We just caught a bunch of sculpin, maxed out. A lot of calico bass on the second spot, but no keepers, just sculpin. 5 keepers today. Minimum is 10 inches for sculpin. And yeah, if you ever just want to do a quick rod and reel for a good price, yeah, check it out, Davey's Locker. I'm not sponsored by them at all, but it's pretty tough to beat. So check it out. We were on the Freelance today. We were fishing up north. We went up north, kind of hugged the coast, and then we dropped near Long Beach, stayed around there, and then came back down to Newport. So here are the sculpin that we caught from our boat trip. What we're gonna do now is essentially use scissors and cut off those spiny guys there. Let's get this guy up so we can get a closer look. Check this out. You see right there, those barbs. We want to get rid of those. So if we do like a whole fish stew or something, no one gets barbed. And you want to watch out for those guys on the cheeks. We're going to cut those off. And then cut off pretty much any pointy bit like that. And then gut them. And then we're gonna freeze these. Normally I would just cook them into whatever we're gonna make, but we have some big ideas for these guys, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, so we are back in the kitchen. What we've done is got the sculpin here that we've caught in the boat, and we're gonna fillet these, get these into fillets. And what we're doing today is we're actually gonna make some Sichuan boiled fish, so also known as mala fish. And for those of you that are not familiar, Sichuan food, generally speaking, is really spicy, as you could probably tell by the packaging. But if you haven't tried it yet, I would definitely recommend just trying it out. It's really spicy, but it's very enjoyable. But the method we're using today to make this mala fish, or spicy boiled fish, is kind of the cheating way. The cheating way is from that packet right there, and it's because if you wanted to do it kind of the more from scratch way, you would make your own broth essentially. So you'd have to do the peppers and do all the seasoning and all that. We're just going to use this essentially this instant seasoning. So if you want to make this yourself, you can get this packet here. It doesn't have to be this brand in particular, but just look for spicy seasoning for boiled fish or something like that. And then we have our green onion, we have cabbage, got some mushrooms, enoki mushrooms, and of course our sculpin and some garlic. So first step, we're gonna go ahead and fillet our sculpin right there. Yeah.
That shirt looks good on me.
Yeah. Thank you. So what we're doing now is we are going to cut the fish into about 1.5 to about 1.5 cuts, little chunks. Perfect right there. That's going to feed in nicely into the mala fish, the Sichuan spicy boiled fish that we're doing. Some of these are kind of small already, so we're just going to leave them be, but essentially that's what we're looking for. So now we're going to open up that seasoning packet that we got. And now let's see what's inside. For those of you that are not familiar, or even if you can't read Chinese, this is kind of the basic setup that you'll get from most of these Sichuan packets. We got 3 packets here. What we're going to do is pretty much put the fish in this, and you'll see us how we do this, and then we're going to get that flavor deep into our sculpin. So we're grabbing the packet with the sauce in it. And then what we're going to do is put the fish into a bowl, mixing bowl of some sort. I'm just going to dump that seasoning into our fish. Yeah, and again, Sichuan food, obviously very spicy, but quite delicious. If you have not tried Sichuan food before, definitely should try, but definitely just keep in mind, it's spicy. If you like spicy, obviously, definitely give it a try. So now we're just mixing it in. You could really smell the Sichuan peppers in there. If you ever smelled that before, it's a very distinct smell. It's really looking good. All that fish absorbing that flavor. Next up, we're taking the smallest packet that was in there, and the instructions say you're going to dump half into our mix. And then we're actually going to dump the other half into the soup as it's cooking, or the kind of broth. Yeah, it smells really, really good. Check that out. So now we're going to chop the vegetables. We want nice chunks. That's the cabbage. So what we're doing now is actually going to cook the vegetables for a bit in boiling water. And then we're actually going to take them out after they're cooked for a little bit, and then we start the actual broth process. So we're actually just lightly cooking the veggies separately. So what we have now are the drained vegetables. We took out the broth or the water that we were using to cook the vegetables slightly. And now we've taken out the vegetables. We've taken out as much water as possible in terms of just the excess. And now this is going to be the base for our fish. So our fish is going to go on top after we prepare pretty much the dish here. So you are not limited to these vegetables. You can use essentially any vegetable you want. We just chose the mushrooms and the cabbage. Yeah, let's keep going. So according to the packaging, we need 23.5 fluid ounces of water that we need to boil. So this is going to essentially be our main fish base. All right, what we're gonna do next is actually grab that packet. We only use half the stuff in, and we're gonna get the water to a boil. We're gonna add the remaining amount into our boiling water. So now we're gonna drop our fish into our boiling water with that seasoning. And the key here is to drop the fish one by one into that boiling water with that seasoning. So we would normally pour this concoction into our bowl, but it's not gonna fit. It's a little too much, so we're just scooping it in. I'm scooping in the fish first, and then we're gonna pour some of that broth over our vegetables.
Okay.
So now we're gonna cook up some canola oil. We're gonna actually need a good amount. And this is gonna come to a boil. Super, super hot. And what we're gonna do is put our green onion, our garlic, and the other packet of seasoning on top of our dish. And we're gonna pour that hot, hot oil over our bowl of fish. So here is that last packet that we got. It's full of dried peppers. You know, super mild stuff, you know? Check that out. Then, of course, we have our green onion and garlic. Very nice. And again, once these veggies are on, I'm gonna get this oil to a simmering hot temp. We are gonna put them on top of our dish, and that'll be a wrap. We're ready to enjoy. Yeah, but leave a comment below if you've ever had Sichuan food. I want to know your first time eating it. Definitely my first time. Very, very memorable to say the least. But now I'm just hooked, so yeah, but please share below. All right, here's a cool trick. If you want to check if the oil is ready, what we're gonna do is just get a wooden chopstick, and you see that simmer right there? We're ready to go. Our oil is ready. We're gonna add it into our bowl right here. All right, guys, we just wrapped up cooking. We just finished our mala fish, or our spicy boiled fish. This is a Sichuan type of dish, as you can tell with a lot of the peppers. For those of you that are not familiar, Sichuan food, generally speaking, a lot of spices, very, very hot. But if you can handle the heat, or you think you can, definitely the flavor is just so deep and rich in most Sichuan dishes, or I would say all of them. But if you haven't given it a try, give it a try. But this is Sculpin mala, spicy mala Sculpin, I guess you can call it. We have a bowl of rice here. And essentially how you eat this, I mean, you can eat it any way you like. But what I like to typically do is grab a bit of a piece of fish right there. You can see that. Ooh. Piece of fish right there. And then we're gonna grab some vegetables at the bottom that we kind of half boiled for a little bit. And then we're gonna get a nice bite with the rice. And don't be afraid of those chilies. That's not a pretty spoonful, but it's gonna taste great. Wow, so the fish, super flaky. Flavor's really going through. It's not, I mean, this sounds really weird because it's really red. It's not as spicy as it looks. You can see that right there.
but it is really tasty with the vegetables in there. The rice really evens it out. But man, this was a really good dish. Definitely something different, probably you've seen on my channel. But yeah, I just really encourage you to just try Sichuan food if you haven't already. But Sculpin, it's all around great fish if you just want to make a stew or a soup, or you just want to do like a fish fry, always a classic. But thank you for watching. I know this is not a spearfishing episode, but really enjoyed my time on the party boat with Davey's Locker. Again, this is not a paid episode, but if you any day out in the water is a great day. So, but thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.